Nice Kirby shot glass. Nerd.
Oyo.
Nerd. You like Kirby or something, huh? You look like Kirby.
Hey.
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that comes out of the crapshoot. I'm your host, JD. This is my co-host,
Oyo.
James. I call him James. Everyone else calls him Jimmy. I'm turning off my fan right now. And a lot of things have happened this week.
It's weird.
A lot of things have happened this week. To me, James, in particular. I know that you've been dominating the last like 2 or 3 podcast episodes, but let me just get this in here.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Number 1, thank you for the birthday gift. I do actually appreciate it. It's still on my desk. I'm cherishing it as any up and coming alcohol purse drinker would do. You all right, James? You having trouble with that drink that you're trying to open, or?
I don't think I'm opening it correctly.
Yeah. I mean, you might break it. It looks like a pretty expensive. Well, I mean, looks like a pretty novel can, but you got it?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, thank you for the birthday gift. My birthday passed. It was three days ago from now. I'm now illegal. I'm now legal age to drink. So look at that. Big moves. We're moving up in the world. We're becoming adults. Yeah. And for my birthday, James, right here, good old Jimmy James, he got me Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Skull vodka. I don't drink. And James knows that I don't drink, but he still got me it anyway. And it's pretty funny. You know what? Honestly, I think you might have changed my mother's mind about you when you got me this birthday present.
I have vodka all over my clothes.
Oh, did you accidentally spill it?
Dude, it exploded off. Like I was trying to slowly pull it off, and it just fucking. It's like the lid's full. Oh my god, it's literally full to the brim.
Whoa.
That's a full thing of vodka.
Yeah, it's 40% too, which is I don't think that's a small number. I don't know anything about alcohol, but it seems like a pretty big number to me.
Voodoo Rangers are like 9%, and that's pretty high for like just normal beer.
9% is pretty high for beer.
I just rubbed vodka across my mustache.
40% is like that's getting into like unconsumable territory, maybe. Like this shouldn't be in your body type of drink.
That's getting to I know why Larry David reacted the way he did when he took a sip with Dan Aykroyd now.
I forgot he used like boy.
Oh, I see the devil.
I see. Triple distilled.
Diamond distilled.
Triple distilled through crystal diamond.
Fucking maniac.
I have to say this, it was not real diamonds that it was distilled through. It was like a fake, like artificially made diamond type
like
thing.
Cheap diamonds
not actually diamonds.
What an insane person fucking Dan Aykroyd is.
Dude,
oh yeah. He's genuinely insane.
He was in Ghostbusters. I love that movie.
You want to know why he was in Ghostbusters?
It's because he was insane.
Because he literally believes ghosts are real to the point that he was like, it's a documentary.
But weren't they on like a whole like set, a movie set, and everything was just okay?
But he's like, yeah, it's like how they do war movies and stuff.
Yeah, you know what my father said to me when he saw the vodka.
Oh yeah, tell me about how your parents reacted to the vodka.
Oh sure. So my father, he's like, why'd your friend give you a vodka if he knows you don't drink? And I'm like, oh, it's like an inside joke. It's Dan Aykroyd's vodka, and Dan Aykroyd's pretty crazy. We saw a video on it. It was pretty funny. And he's like, do you know, Ghostbusters was actually written by Egon, the dude who played Egon, and he's like super smart. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, yep. See ya. That's all he said to me about it. And my mother saw it. She's like, what the fuck is that?
Do you know who Egon is?
I do know who Egon is.
Okay. I was like, imagine how wild this is if you don't know the names of the Ghostbusters.
Well, I mean, I only know the names. I actually don't even know the names of the main Ghostbuster dude. I know Egon. I don't even know Dan Aykroyd's name. I just know he's Dan Aykroyd. He might as well just be Dan Aykroyd, actually.
It's Dan Aykroyd himself.
Yeah, playing Dan Aykroyd. There's Egon, and I think Egon was actually like a scientist or something, like a physicist. I don't know, something
I
like
know he
that.
was a writer on SNL.
Yeah, but he wrote Ghostbusters, I think.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
I I have to step away and get a wet wipe because now there's just because it's spilled out of it.
yeah.
There's now a ring of
Well, just
vodka on my desk.
let it evaporate, dude.
Yeah,
Alcohol.
I'm not letting it evaporate on my desk. It'll smell like vodka every day.
All right, fine. Go ahead and wipe it
Hold on,
down like it, like
I
the
gotta
idiot
step
that
away
you
for a
are.
second.
And I'll continue talking about my crystal skull vodka, my triple distilled through diamonds, crystal skull vodka. But yeah, Dan Aykroyd's a crazy person. Um, it's an inside joke between me and James, but we watched the JonTron video about Dan Aykroyd, and that's where we got the inside joke from. Other than that, though, for my birthday, I got $400 combined from my aunt and grandma. Very thankful about that. That goes straight into paying for my college tuition, which is starting pretty soon this semester. It's actually starting in like tomorrow. From when this episode releases, starting tomorrow, I would be in the fall semester. And there's some wacky stuff that happened with my college stuff that I'll go on to
All over
later.
my keyboard.
Awesome. I'm so glad you're such a non-clumsy person. You're so gentle with everything that you do. Everything goes right. Got those magic mic fingers going up your gooder. Vibe checking. You know, no one can see what you're doing, James, and you're completely silent. So anyway, yeah. So my mother saw it, and she was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's alcohol." And she's like, "No. But why is it in like that bottle shape? It's like a bad omen. It's got bad voodoo on it." And I'm like, "What?" And
Oh
she's
my
like, yeah, you know,
God.
it's gonna give you bad luck and stuff. And I'm like, well, if my luck could be any worse in gacha games, then you know that'd be pretty sad. But
Yeah, I can't win with your mother, man. I can't win with this woman.
no, hold me out. There's a redemption arc to this.
There's a
So
redemption arc.
yeah, so I was like, listen, there's no such thing as that. She's like, okay, whatever you say, and she's like, okay, how much like alcohol, like how strong is the alcohol? And I show her, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's like 40%. She's like, 40%? That's like the stuff you put in your car. That's the stuff you put in your lighters. And
Tastes
I'm
like that.
and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I mean, it looks cool, so I'll just keep it on my desk. And she's like, you know, you're gonna have to give your friend like a present too on his birthday. You can't just be taking.
Yeah,
You can't just.
This is why.
You can't just be taking presents and money from people, James. Or JD. That's fucked up. I'm like,
It's literally your
it's my birthday. I was like, it's my birthday. Aren't I supposed to like receive presents and stuff for it? And she's like, no. You're supposed to pay them back. You're supposed to pay them back. And I'm like, yeah, I will on his birthday. I give him like my own craftsman. I craft something up, give it to him on his birthday, even if it won't cost a lot of money. I'm sure he won't mind. But you know, something personalized, maybe an inside joke.
Fucking Bass Pro.
I give you 50.
Bass fishing.
I give you 10. I give you 10 orders of the Confederate flag in your mail. What's wrong, James?
I'm dumb.
Really? What made you think that?
Well, you know, I've been like, because this smells like straight gasoline, so I've been like just messing with it. I'm like, that's horrible and everything. And then I start playing with it. I realize it's a twist off.
Ah, it's a twist. Ah, no wonder it didn't come off so easily, huh?
But it does come off, and that's why I don't understand.
Yeah.
And it can go right back on.
That's cool. Well, I mean, there's multiple ways of taking it off, you know?
Not make pouring the shot easier.
Probably. Anyway, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, my mother's like, yeah, you got to get your friend a present too and everything. So here's my stance on it, right? I don't think she hates you, but she still does hate gay people. But you personally, I think is like a passing grade.
I'm not even like explicitly gay.
No, of course not. If you never told anyone, no one would even know.
How do you think I get by in life?
How do you think I survive, JD?
JD, I tell you about where I work, right?
You know, this is a lot about society.
It's society. All I have
Should we get dangerous a little bit? Should we get a little dangerous?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get a little dangerous. So, of course, there's got to be some dangerous topics that pop up during my birthday because my family members are gathering, and they are all such great people and have such
I know exactly
int-
where this is going.
and have such
All I had to-
intellectual discord.
all I had to hear was, so my family. And I knew.
When we gathered together, I do love my family because they're family, related to me by blood. And even though we disagree on a lot of things, that's totally fine. People could disagree on stuff. So we're gathered,
Right.
and I got my birthday cake in front. Well, actually, first, my mother bought a birthday cake already. So I already had a cake in my refrigerator. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't have a really big sweet tooth. And I don't
Right,
actually really
you're
like
not
sweet
a-
things. I don't eat sugar that
like
much.
things.
What,
You don't
what's
you
that?
don't like to be happy.
What's
I
that
know.
supposed to mean? No, but I don't like sweet things that much. But anyway, we already had a cake, and so my aunt is coming over or came over for my birthday
A true
party. It's like party in quotations, really just like a gathering of my father, my mother, my aunt, and my grandma, and that's about it. All the people who are like just good enough that they're not bad shit insane, because the rest of my
That's
family,
good enough.
I literally like I've lost all contact with them, and all I know about them is that they're hardcore drug addicts and have like schizophrenia or something.
It just always amazes me
actually
how similar
true.
a family is.
Yeah, it's actually true. Like I think it's my oh man, I don't quite I think it's my aunt's it's my other aunt. She's like when she married her husband, they both became like hardcore heroin addicts. Moved to like Colorado or something. I never talked like I remember them being at like my 7th birthday party or something like that when I was a toddler. And then after that, they moved away. I never saw them again, never talked to them. I only heard that they became like heroin addicts, and now they have schizophrenia, I think. So that's both of them.
That's usually the way
They
it goes.
both have
Yeah.
schizophrenia. Yeah. I think my family just has a genetic, like there's just a genetic disposition to be horrible addicts to something. They're drug addicts, and a lot of my family are gambling addicts. So that's why I'm like never touching gambling or alcohol, because I'm almost like it's almost like a voodoo belief that like I
put a
might
curse on you?
I might accidentally become an addict or something.
I've cursed you by
So
giving you that
that's why I'm not even gonna touch it. So yeah, no
you're not
gambling.
gonna-
So even though I play gotcha games, I still haven't spent any money in any gotcha games.
I know what you're saying.
I know what you're saying, okay, but trust me. I've been playing gotcha games for a few years, still not spent any money in any of the gotcha games, like 0 cents.
Don't make any suggestions.
But yeah, so my aunt came over. She was like, "Oh, did you already? Let's make a wish for your birthday. You got to make your birthday wish." And she's like, "I already told you she's kind of crazy, right? Like kind of a
Yeah,
crazy aunt.
she's literally an insane person.
She's a good person, other than the whole like cheating
Other
thing.
than what?
Other other than the whole cheating thing,
Just
But,
name off a few things.
a few things. Well, maybe the cheating thing is a little bit like I don't condone cheating. If you're in a relationship, probably don't do that. But don't take relationship advice from me, because I've never been in one. So you can come to James. You can go to James with all that stuff.
Come to the wrong person.
You came to the wrong person. Welcome.
You came to the wrong guy. Here, I'll tell you about every relationship and how they gone bad.
You came to the right guy. I've been in 0 relationships.
I've been in like 3, I think.
Yeah, James, you still haven't told me about all of them. All of your horrible and like
My 3 evil
hard
exes.
exit relationships. But anyway, so she comes in and she's
this
like,
isn't a me episode, it's a you.
yeah, so she's kind of crazy. She's like, "Oh, did you make your birthday wish already?" And I'm like, "No, not really." But my mother was like, "Yeah, he did." And she's just, I don't know why, but my mother just straight up lies to my aunt like all the times, just trying to get her out of like the house and stuff. My mother does not like my aunt. But
Really?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
could not tell by the you did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
she's like she's like an avid, she's like super religious. I think I talked about that on stream.
Which one?
My aunt is
Okay.
super religious. It's like one of those stereotypical like midlife crisis, middle-aged females that turn to God. Like previously they were like crazy party maniacs, and then they're like they turn over a new leaf and they're like, I believe in God now.
This is who I've always been.
I'm a God-fearing person, but
You're
no,
a
it's just
God-fearing man, JD.
she's like, oh, did you make your birthday wish? And I'm like, no, I haven't made my birthday wish yet. And my mother's like, no, he did say that you did. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna lie to my aunt. I didn't make the birthday wish yet. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna go buy you a cake that has like, do we have like candles or anything so we can do the birthday wish? And I'm like, no, it's fine if we don't do the birthday wish. It's okay. And she's like, no,
Your mom,
you need
your mom was trying to save you from this.
Yeah, she was.
Surprisingly,
My aunt's like, no, you have to do this birthday wish with a you have to blow out a candle. You have to. And I'm like, I mean, we don't have candles here. And she's like, what? You don't have candles? And I'm like, no, we don't have candles we just have a cake. And she's like, I'm gonna go out and buy you a cake with candles right now. And I'm like, you don't really need to do that. I mean, we can just chill here. And she's like, no, you don't understand how important this wish is to me. Then she leans into my ear and you know what she says to me? She says, I spent some money on the California lottery. I need you to wish me good luck for it. Listen to me. Birthday wishes always come true, okay? All of my birthday wishes have come true. So I need you to like help me out here. So I'm gonna go buy you a candle for your birthday cake.
oh my God, no!
I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that.
That's
Whatever.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
great.
And I say to her, I'm like, yeah, I'll wish good fortune for all of our family. And she's like, okay, I'll take that.
No.
She's like, yeah, sure. And then she gives me that look but just keep that in mind.
He goes, yeah, sure.
And obviously, James, I don't know if I don't believe birthday wishes actually come true.
You don't?
No, I don't, James. So she leaves and she takes like an hour and a half to buy a birthday cake. She says she was going to go buy candles, but she went out and bought a whole nother cake that had candles on it.
Okay.
That took like an hour and a half. So
That
she comes
should not
back like
take an
9
hour and a
o'clock at night. And then you're right, it shouldn't have taken an hour and a half because the drive was like 5 minutes. What theoretically should have happened is that she walks into the store.
Down the street.
He drives 5 minutes. Oh, there's an Albertson story that she said to me. I think she's going through some stuff, which I will get dangerous with a little bit later. But I won't be like super specific about it because I don't know if it's like legal trouble, but I'm pretty sure it's just craziness because I don't understand like half of what she says.
What are you pulling me into here?
Don't worry, James. You will
What
be.
am I going to be?
You're not going to be liable. You're not going to be liable for anything, James. Okay.
That's always what they say. That's
Probably.
always what they say.
It's true. So she goes out, comes back an hour and a half later, and then I blow out the candles on the cake and everything. And apparently what's happening, at least what I think is happening, because a lot of what she says is kind of just delirium. Because when she met me, like before she went out to buy the cake, like she arrived at our house and she went into my room to talk to me about stuff. She walked up to me and like the first thing she said to me was like, they stole my magic, JD. They stole my magic. These WSs, they stole my magic. And WSs stands for wrong stuff, JD. It stands for wrong stuff. That's literally what she said, like word for word. She's like, WS stands for wrong stuff, JD. They stole my magic from me. They stole my magic and I'm going to get my money back. I'm going to win all my money back because it's mine and the good Lord believes in me. And when I get my money back, I'll stop. No, you trust me. I'll stop right after I win all my money back. I'll stop. You got to believe me, JD. That's the first thing she says to me. And I have no idea what she's talking about. But what I think that she's talking about, because I'm a sane person with a logical thought process. What happened was,
What happened was
what I think is that
I think what happened was.
So she's a gambling addict, like a lot of my family, right?
Yeah.
And she really loves the lottery. And she was like explaining to me how she picks the numbers for the lottery. I don't know how the lottery works. She was giving me a bunch of terms like, oh, I bought a bunch of tickets for the lottery and I'm going to hit these high rolls and these high numbers and whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what any of that means. But So all I know is she spent a lot of money in the lottery. She lost a lot of money in the lottery, as you do if you gamble.
Classic.
Yeah, normally. And then she's coping super hard with it by turning to religion
Jeez.
and God.
Coping.
That's the best way I could put it. Is that it's just hard cope, James. I've never seen harder cope in my entire life. Like serious cope, James.
God,
like
I love-
there's ironic cope. Like if you're bad at a video game and you say you're not bad and you're just like internet
I'm
lag or
not.
something. Yeah, you're lagging or whatever. That's just cope. But like serious hardcore cope is what this looks like. Is you losing a bunch of money in lottery, you saying that they stole your magic. They stole your magic. You're going to get your money back, which, by the way, if you gamble your money away, it's not your money anymore because you lost
It's
it.
not your money anymore. You've given
so-
it away immediately.
So it's hard cope to say that it's your money. It's hard cope
Right.
to say that you lost, that Tate stole your magic. I don't even know who they are, James, but I have an idea.
It's
and
Andrew Tate.
I have an idea, and
Andrew
that's not far off from my guess. I'll tell you what my guess is a little bit later.
Oh God.
So she comes in saying all that stuff to me. So she lost a bunch of money. And I think she might be in like a financial issue right now, which is not weird because the economy or the market right now is not doing too great, right, James? Just like the whole world economy situation.
It's just fucking Biden, man.
It's also China for some reason.
No, it's Biden.
That too, probably, yeah.
Only him.
Only Mr.
Only.
I could describe America in one word. I
shit myself. There goes my hero.
I got one beautiful little sister. She's the love of my life. Yeah, so she comes in and explains to me all this. And when she starts ranting to me about all this weird stuff, it lasts for like 30 minutes to an hour. And I have to just stand there and like listen to it. Because I don't want to be like rude and be like, listen, get fucked, deal with it. I don't want to say that to her.
You and your aunt begins to start rambling about the insanities in her mind. What the fuck?
We're not the closest people, but she, she's there for all my birthdays and stuff. So I appreciate that. And, and she's a pretty good aunt to me, even if she's not a great person by other objective standards. But
Objective?
Sorry, by other subjective standards. My bad. So, yeah, she starts ranting me about all this stuff. And then she goes on this weird, like, I don't know when she started talking about, or like when she transitioned to talking about this, but she mentioned something about Albertsons and bringing along a black lady friend to the back of an Albertsons, the back of the parking lot of Albertsons, and giving money to a friend. But she showed me a picture of her Amazon thing. She was like, I bought this can of like tuna. I emptied out the tuna. I'm going to put the money inside the can, and I'm going to put the can inside of a black trash bag and wrap up the trash bag and give it to my friend. So nobody sees that I've got money. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? When did we go from playing
when did we go? Insane.
When did we go from playing the California lottery?
Oh my God.
When did we go from playing the California lottery to you mentioning about this weird sus deal at the back of an Albertsons with your black lady friend? You gotta, like, when she was talking about it, I was zoned out for a lot of it. So that might have been part of the reason where I missed like the transition from the lottery to that story. But like I snapped right back in when she was like, Albertsons, back alley, I'm gonna give money to this friend.
Also insane. That's just an insane sentence, even with context.
I'm like, what the fuck? What?
It's such an insane thing to do, just on its own.
I don't know. I have no idea why she wants to give money to this friend in quotations. I have no idea why she wants to meet at the back of an Albertsons in order to give money to this friend, and why it has to be such a sus dealing. And she was like justifying like, hey, God knows that I'm a good person, and he's gonna overlook like this one little thing
from the sinners.
He's gonna overlook this one little thing. I know I went out to eat at this fast food joint like 3 days ago, and I gave the dude behind the counter $5 extra tip, and he gave me a free drink. And I know that it was wrong for me to receive this free drink. He's stealing from the company, but I know, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big. She did say that. I clearly remember. I have this written down, James. I typed it up in my notes like 20. I typed this in my notes right after my birthday ended, because I was like, holy shit, I'm getting like dropped all of this like gold. Yeah, what I typed in was magic, spiritual, gambling, kickers. That's what it was called. Kickers. Kickers is a gambling term, but I have no idea what it means. Kicker numbers or something.
God knows the sinners from the saints.
Beaters numbers.
That man that gave me that free drink was a sinner.
B-day numbers. God. Money transferring behind Albertsons.
I'll do what I have to.
I typed in money transferring behind Albertsons. I just need to win my money. I just need to win back my money. Then I'll stop. That's what I typed in. But I also remember that she told me.
Transferring behind Albertsons.
Yes.
What a sentence.
Yeah. So, or was it? What was that story I was just talking about? The right, the cup and the fast food joint. So I think what happened was.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it for a second.
You have to understand, James. None of what she was saying to me was making a lot of sense, and I have to fill in the blanks because what I'm thinking is I think that she did some sus stuff. Probably.
You think?
I think, and she's trying to rationalize it to me, like justify. Yeah.
Think she did?
I think.
After hearing any of that,
I don't know if you think that my intuition and my guesses are accurate most of the time, but I'd say that I'm like pretty good at guessing what's happening.
Now I wouldn't call myself a betting man.
No, I wouldn't say I'm a prophet, right? I wouldn't call myself Jesus.
I just call myself a messiah.
But I think there's some sus stuff happening. I don't exactly know what.
Now, folks, I wouldn't call myself the reborn Jesus Christ.
I think she's blaming the obvious result of losing money in gambling to the fact that she made some small misdemeanors in the past, and that's coming back as like karma to affect her gambling results or something like that.
Jesus Christ,
I think that's what it was, because I think what she was trying to say to me was that one time she just tipped a cashier dude or something, and I guess he was trying to like hit on her or something, and he gave her like a free drink, and she took it, and she just took the free drink, which obviously in and of itself
was sinful.
Yes, but I mean, it's just that thing where it's like if you see your friend at like the behind the cashier, you're like, hey, can you get me like a water cup and I go drink some Sprite with it? It's just that kind of thing. Like nobody cares. Like who cares if you're stealing money
person who did that
from a gigantic fast food restaurant place? Well,
every man and woman who asked for a water cup and filled it up with some Sprite and Coke, straight to hell.
Enjoy burning in hell, sinners.
Thieves. Seething.
Weak sinners. Heretics.
Actually molding. Actually seething. Actually.
Yeah, so she's ready to be. She's like, JD, angels are real. I can't prove it, but I know they're real. They show up in my dreams. I know they're real, JD. You gotta believe me. I'm like, okay. I mean,
oh my God, no.
I'm a content creator. I'm an influence a little bit. So obviously I let this go on. And I'm not gonna lie. Guys, you're not gonna convince anybody who thinks like that. They're too far gone, in my opinion. You're not gonna if they're so far gone that they're like angels are real, they show up in my dreams, therefore they're real. There's no convincing that.
They're real.
There's no convincing that. You can't change that mind. If they don't want to help themselves, then you can't help them. I'm not gonna force help on her. So,
JD, they're real.
Because they show up in the dreams?
No, because I'm an
angel. And you can't prove it, but it's real.
No, JD, because I'm an angel.
You sure?
You know what?
You want to hear another hard cope that I heard from her too?
There's only one angel.
You want to know another hard cope I heard from her? It was
what's up?
It was I experienced bad fortune because I'm a believer in God, and the devil's attacking me, and that's how I know that God is real, is because so that I'll believe him, and he will come out victorious in the end. That's another hard cope. I'm sorry, but if you think like that, I think you might want to change your perspective on life in general. And, you know, it's unfortunate because, you know, people like her are so easy to take advantage of. And I think that's what happened to her.
Oh, you're saying that Andrew Tate bought her into Hustlers University?
As in, like, the type of thing where it's like the pastor at the church is like, you got to donate to for God. And he just rakes up a ton of cash from everyone who's like desperate and like they're in a bad situation.
That happened at the church I went to for a very long time.
Like that happens all the time. And
it happens all the time. It's real.
And you know, if you're like looking at it from an outsider, it's like, oh, they're so stupid. What?
Does your aunt go to this church?
I don't know what church she goes to.
The church by like our house. Like,
here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I don't know if she goes to church, James.
Because that's a mega church that absolutely takes people's money. I mean, they've been exposed for it several times. And Donald Trump, by the way, visited that place when my sister went to school there.
Donald Trump went there?
Donald Trump went there, visited during his
top
presidency.
G Donald Trump?
Donald Trump went to that church and visited it when my sister was at school there.
Wow.
So she got to see him in person. Apparently kids were screaming.
Yeah, she saw this hulking man in person, this 6'7" gigantic beast
kids.
of a person. That's not what he sounds like. Hello, kids.
I'm trying to think of how Zach does it, because he brought up like you gotta like have the
and everyone says that he talks really fast, but he's a big fat man, so he's slow. So he's like,
you gotta like talk like you're a real top G.
Either way, I'm getting off track. So going back to it, yeah, I don't know if she goes to church, but that's what she said to me. Obviously, guys, viewers of the podcast, do not gamble. Gambling is a losing game in terms of, you know, just straight logic and probabilities. You're not going to win any money in gambling. You're better off investing your money in something else worthwhile. And yes, I consider crypto to be gambling. Crypto is basically just gambling. It might even be more of a scam. And James is dying right now, but I'm going to completely ignore that and continue my story.
I turned off my mic so I wasn't talking over you.
That's totally fine. You mean gagging over me? Took like a shot of the vodka and it fucked him up. But yeah, bunch of sussy stuff happened. Another thing that I think happened to my aunt that she was trying to explain to me, but I don't think she really got it across well. But I'm going to try to piece this together as best as I can. What I think happened was that I think this relates to when she cheated in a relationship. Because I don't know if I mentioned this. She's a gambling addict and she's cheating. She won't say.
We mentioned it every time we've mentioned her.
She's not. It up. She doesn't say. She said she's not a gambling addict, but it's very clear to me that she is a gambling addict.
Oh man, she admitted that she's a cheater.
Well, I think she was trying to co-part with it, like how she does with everything, by saying like, you know, the God, it was just spur of the moment. Spur of the moment. God was looking down upon me at that time, and He forgave me already.
God wanted better for me, and that better was that man's dick.
But it might have been something else. All I know is for sure is that she has a bunch of white friends, and I'm bringing up that they're white because this is what my aunt said to me. Yes, like you, Jays, people like you. Because this is important to the story. She has white friends, and then I think they were in some sticky situations financially, or at least that's what my aunt thought. And she gave them a bunch of money, but then yes, and she gave them a bunch of money because my aunt. I'm not sure. It's this thing. It's this thing with religion, James, where I can't tell if you're a good person if you give if you help people.
That's the thing about religion. I can't tell if you're a good person.
No, not period there. I can't tell if you are doing these good acts like helping people out financially and stuff. If you genuinely do want to help them, or if you do it because you fear going to hell. But either way, despite the intention, you're still doing a good thing, which is good in of itself.
If
Right.
it's actually helping the person and not showing into somebody's pocket, you know?
If it's helping the person and not harming you. But that's the second part is important, because my aunt lends money to a bunch of her white friends, and I think they pulled an Andrew Tate on her ass, and like
Oh no.
they took the money and they ran with the money, and
He ran away to Romania where they can get away from the law enforcement.
so she lost a bunch of money that way. And I think that's what she was explaining to me, of they stole my magic, as in I've been wronged by a bunch of people that took advantage of me. Because it's easy to take advantage of desperate people, and that's fucked up to do that. But
Yeah.
but it is true, like how the churches like gather money from these people, because when you're looking from the outside in, it's like, oh, why are these people giving away their money? They need the money. It's stupid for them to do that. But when you're in a desperate situation and you're in a bad mental space, you know, things you just have to cope. Actually cope hard.
Breathing, molding, coping.
Exactly. And that's when people like really become religious, or like really like cling to like religion, is when they're like most desperate. And I think that's like the state of my aunt's in right now.
What does Spider-Man say? Something get religion.
Want
if you
forgiveness. If you want forgiveness, get religion.
Me at your aunt?
Jesus Christ. So yeah, I think a bunch of her white friends were extorting her or something.
Oh god, I can still dazed.
And you know what my aunt calls them? Calls them white supremacists. That's what the WS stands for. And she was trying to cope hard, justifying to me. She was like, WS stands for wrong stuff. I did not say white supremacists. I said wrong stuff. They can't get me on this in court. That's what she says. That's just what she said to me. I don't know why she brought it up.
I don't know why she said it, but she said it.
She said it.
She's not wrong.
It's not.
They're the wrong stuff.
So and I realize now from the context of some of the crazy text messages she sends me, because she sends me literally paragraphs.
Oh my god, is there
text.
a story to the fucking text?
Yes, I think there is an arc here somewhere. It's in here somewhere.
JD, you're witnessing a real life ARG.
She's like you whenever you watch another episode of like what was it, Riverdale? Whenever you watch an episode of Riverdale, get really angry and type on Discord to me. It's like that. It's like that, but literally constant. Like every single day, every like hour, she texts me like a paragraph of something, of some like nonsensical thing, and she sends me pictures of the lotto that she's losing, and like and like coping hard with like she's trying to reason out why she's losing this lottery, when in actuality you're just not going to win the lottery. After all. Yeah. So yeah, here's the text. Here's one of the text messages. It was the Carl's Jr. thing. She said to me, I should had no CS. I was on phone with doctors yesterday about my mom, and a guy at Carl's Jr. gave me a free drink. I didn't want him to get in trouble. I gave him $5 tip, but I told him that you're doing out of customer service so he won't get in trouble. This is why we only forgive small amounts of money stolen. CS, customer service is important too.
She got the free drink from Carl's Jr.?
Where did she text me about WS? Because that was when she texted me something about WS. God, JD. I was like, "What the fuck is WS?" But now I know what WS stands for.
JD, the Carl's Jr. and the Albertsons are in the same parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she texted me, "Good morning. Can your angel show up for me today on the daily 3, please?" Good.
What?
That's what she texted me. And then I think before that, I'm trying to find. I know she mentioned WS. I'm scrolling up like pages.
Can you like search it in like your text messages?
Maybe, but I didn't think it was that far ago. But anyway, when she gambles, I guess she put the numbers that she has to guess. She just puts in like our birthdays and stuff, or like the family's birthdays, in hopes of winning. And like every time a number comes out, it's like the hardest cope I've ever heard, because it's like. It's a random combination of 3 numbers, right? What the fuck did you just... James?
Excuse me.
What do you...
Nothing.
Yeah, better be nothing. So the lottery is you guess 3 numbers. If they're in the correct order, you win a bunch of money. And if you guess the correct numbers, you win some amount of money. I think that's how it works. So she uses our birthday numbers. But the way she justifies losing these numbers is so weird. She'll be like, yeah, I put in like the day of your birthday and the month of your birthday, but this number was different. It was not the month of your birthday, but it's like it. I'm not gonna lie to you, James. They're completely random numbers. They're just random numbers. There's no rhyme or reason to them.
This is not my birthday.
They are random. It'll be something like 031, and she'll be like, see, look, 31. That's the day of your birthday. But then like the third number has nothing to 0. Like nothing to do with anything.
Your aunt's an insane person.
Yeah, and then like the third was like, so like I just guessed the wrong month. I just guessed the wrong. I was like, okay, what month is 0 then? What day is 0 actually? What day is 0?
Well, you see, JD, you found me out.
Oh, and dude, my aunt has this weird. She brings this up so weird. It's so weird that she brings this up just completely randomly that she needs to redo her boobs, and it's gonna cost like $5,000 or something. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Redo boobs?
I don't have my wallet.
Here's what I guess. She never said this to me, but I think she's done a boob job like 20 years ago.
I imagine when she says redo, that means she definitely did.
Yeah, and I guess it's expiring soon, or like something's gonna be wrong with it soon, so she has to redo it in order to make sure nothing goes wrong with it medically. But she doesn't have enough money to do it because she's spending all her money in gambling to try to win her money back, James. Win her money back. Right?
I to me, it's like simple. Be like, just stop. Like, just don't.
Here's the thing: she just doesn't listen because when you're at the point in your mind, when you're at the point in your mind where you're like thinking like, this is my money and the God is going to give me the power to win. God is going to give me the power to win this money. Win this money, and you know, with all this good karma that I'm gathering up to you win this money, and then I'll stop. It's too far gone. At that point, you know, it's not even like I really want to help her, but she doesn't want to help herself. And at that point, I can't force help on her because it's like, you need to be able to recognize when you need help. And if you don't recognize that, then we can't even get 1 foot through the door. Right.
Are you trying to say something?
James, we're going to need an intervention about how much alcohol you drink every week and the effect it's having on, like you say hard coke to me like you're in a good spot financially, but like
I can stop when I want, JD.
Okay, but so either way, she was typing like
from Discord.
She was mentioning a bunch of her texts previously, something about WS, like all these WSs are stealing my magic and stuff, and then she just completely ditches the WS and just types in like white supremacist to me, like completely forget about it.
No, I didn't say white supremacist.
I found it. Here's the exact text that I just found it. White supremacist / evil white ladies come to my dream to give me wrong lottery numbers is why I called WS wrong stuff. I dislike WS. There it is.
Your aunt's gonna hate me.
She dislikes wrong stuff. So here's the situation now, right? My parents don't like black people, and my aunt is fine with black people, but she really dislikes white people. So that's my current situation. But, you know, not only did that happen, but my father and my aunt got into a huge argument.
Yes.
My father and my aunt got into a huge argument on my birthday, as I was sitting there on the table blowing out my candles. And of course they argued about religion, right? My aunt's views on religion. Because I don't know if I told you this.
What else?
But, you know, I'm skeptic. And like my father, he's also pretty skeptic. But unlike my father, I don't care if other people want to be religious or not. Like, that doesn't affect me. But my father, it's they got into a huge, heated argument. and it was something like God doesn't exist, and like you need to stop talking about religion in this household because this household doesn't believe in it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And my aunt's like, no, you're just hard coping. She didn't say hard coping.
Oh,
but she'd say something like it was because she's a boomer. She probably doesn't even know what coping
what's
means.
what's your dad's name?
Sam.
Doxed him. Sam, you said?
Yeah.
Sam, you're just coping. You're seething, mauling, and
No.
actually coping
She
right
wasn't.
now.
She wasn't. She was trying to like. Oh, this argument was so weird because my father was arguing with my aunt, but my aunt was trying to justify her arguments to me instead of my father.
Fucking
So
Christ.
I was sitting there just like staring at my cake, because I already
seething,
ate.
JD. Oh wait, hold on. I don't have Alex Jones pulled up.
My father would be saying stuff like, just because you seeing angels in your dream doesn't mean shit. You're just crazy. And then like my aunt would turn to me. My aunt would turn to me, wouldn't even look at my father. Turn to me and she was like, JD, your father's just scared. He's just a scared little man. And
Your
you need
father's just an incel.
You need to believe. You need to believe. It's real. I can't prove it to you, but it's real. You gotta believe me, JD. And I say nothing.
No. I can't prove it. But yes.
But yes.
Your honor.
Right?
Yes.
Obviously, there's like, I'm a logical person. And to me,
biological person.
To me, religion just, it doesn't make a lot of logical sense. But I get why people string to it, because there's a lot of things that I question that there's too many questions where it's like, I like, if God does exist and he shows himself, that's cool. I'm ready to believe in it, but like I'm really leaning toward he doesn't exist, or like there's not some sort of like higher power type of thing.
I think if God exists, then the way that the world's gonna go is like This Is the End movie with Seth Rogen and James Franco,
where like the world gets destroyed,
where everybody gets raptured, and it's like you have to actually start believing in God and be a good person to get raptured with it.
So let's get a little dangerous with religion. I don't know if it's like still a voodoo topic to talk about, but here on the Crap Shoot, where we're not monetized anyway, and you don't know what we look like. So
the church.
Oh God, no. But you get what I said? That you get my joke there? God? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, no.
So obviously, I think I caught a little bit of like the arguments that my father and my aunt had, and the first one was like, oh crap! If I'm trying to remember what it was like, so nonsensical. It's right. Okay. So the first question I had was like this. Like let's take the lottery example, right? So my aunt prays to win the lottery, right?
Right.
And obviously,
naturally.
A lot of people pray to win the lottery.
But
only one person can win the lottery, James, right? So who does God choose to win the lottery? If there is one. Does he choose like the most misfortunate person to win the lottery, like the person who's in the worst situation?
No, he chooses a white person.
Or does he, or like how previous winners would say, he just goes random, right? He just chooses randomly. But here's the thing, right? Is it more equal to just choose randomly, or to make it so that the least fortunate person wins? Because in terms of random, it's fair because everyone has an equal chance of winning. Like if you bought the tickets,
I don't.
I don't want an equal chance to win, James.
What about me?
Okay. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I remember the argument that my father and aunt had now.
Okay, let's
hear it.
It
was like, who created the world? It was like, I think it was based on that. It was just like, God didn't make the world.
Right.
But my aunt was like, no, God did make the world. Everyone has a father. You have a father, and God is that father. And then my father was like, no, that's wrong, because then who's God's father? And then my aunt's like, no, God was just the start of it all. So I guess the logic is everyone has a father.
Dr. Manhattan.
Everyone is a father except God. And God is just the start of it all.
Fatherless.
He went out to get the milk.
Me when I go to heaven and see God.
Fatherless.
What's your father think? God. It's like those people that make the argument where it's like, if you have a dead dad in your bio and like you get into an argument,
Oh my
there's like,
God.
how's your father doing? That's me at God.
How's your father doing? Ooh, ooh,
God.
God. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Super religious people, whenever they get into an argument about it, they'll kind of just hand wave away every argument. Where every argument kind of just ends in it's the devil's fault or it's God's will, because that's like just like a blanket statement you can use to justify anything.
Are they wrong?
Here's the thing, James. If God exists, then they're not wrong, right? See?
God.
It's just Jordan Peterson's interview where he's like, gotcha. And he's just like, oh, you got me.
What rules?
What rules?
Have we
Up yours, yours, woke moralists.
What rules? It's so good.
What?
It's so good. What rules?
What rules?
He's so high pitched. What rules?
He's great. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah, man. Great person. What rules?
What rules? So
I heard somebody yesterday go like, I kind of like Jordan Peterson. I'm like, and they're like, because he's a therapist. I'm like,
is he a therapist? I
don't think so.
No, I don't. He's like a psychologist maybe. I don't know what he is actually. I don't know what he did before becoming internet influencer.
What rules? It's so good. Sorry, continue.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that argument happened, and
your father is Jordan Peterson.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. The argument, like, here, the exact words that were said in that argument made me cringe a lot, because it was my aunt saying stuff like,
"Cringe, Dad."
It was my aunt saying stuff like, it's just God's will, and all the evil stuff is the devil. Why does good exist? Why does evil exist? It exists because God and the devil. Stuff like that. That makes me cringe. And what my father said also makes me cringe, where he's like, listen, all your shit doesn't make any sense, which I agree with. But then he's like, what was it? Science.
Like, what rules?
Science and calculus and probabilities are the king of all things. We will rule. It just sounds so pretentious, right? But that also made me cringe. So yeah, he's like, science will solve all of humanity's problems and stuff. It's like, man, that's also kind of cringe.
That's so bad.
Even if it's more correct than the other one, it's still kind of cringe. So yeah,
science.
This is a scientific household. We rely on science and stuff to do everything.
Science.
It's because of religious wackos like you that we had all those wars back in like 1860 or whatever, and crusades. They always bring up the crusades.
Yeah, no shit. Because what rules?
I like how you went to crusades and stuff, more like modern examples. Like, you take like the entire Middle East for like a religious war type thing, but instead he's like crusades.
Like, literally any of the stuff that's happening like over in fucking Palestine and shit like that. It's like,
that's literally all. That's like all
almost
religion,
all of it's based on religion, but it's like, Knights the Templar, because that's all I can know.
But here's the thing, right? Even if there was no religion, they still have some reason to fight about it. They probably find something else to fight about.
Yeah, it's not just. We literally go to other countries and incite war because of oil, and as much of a meme as it is the truth.
Hey man, there's only so much oil in the world, and it's mine.
No, JD.
It's mine. It can't be yours if you're dead. Let's go to war.
It's mine.
So yeah.
It tastes like shit, by the way.
Right. With the whole good and evil thing, it makes me so curious if it actually is real. Because here's the thing, right? If God and the devil does exist,
if it is real.
No, I was
real.
Hypothetic.
Religion. What religion?
What rules?
What rules?
Here's the thing, right? Here's a crazy hypothesis, right? What if the devil is just evil because people don't believe in him?
Shut
No,
the
think
fuck
about
up. Shut the fuck up.
think about this, James. Let me convince you. Change my mind.
The greatest trick the
Here's
devil
the thing,
ever
right?
pulled
Okay,
was convincing us he doesn't exist.
let's talk about this, James.
Fuck off.
Let's talk about this, James. Would you say there's more good in the world or evil in the world?
Evil.
Right. So if there's more evil in the world, does that mean God is weaker than the devil? Or is it not like that?
Oh.
And if God is weaker than the devil, then why are we believing in God rather than the winning side, right? What if, unless you believe that the devil just has a cartoonishly evil persona, right? Is there a reason why he's doing all these evil stuff? What if he's doing the evil stuff because nobody believes in him
Hey, JD.
and he's expected to be the bad guy? So
JD,
everyone thinks that he's the bad
this is
guy.
all really interesting. This is
Yeah.
already a comic book. It's called
Is-
Lucifer.
Really?
And it's also a Netflix TV show.
You know what? That just reminded me of what my aunt just said to my father as like a proving point. She was like, "Have you ever watched Constantine?" And then my father was like, "Yes, I've watched Constantine. It was a great fictional
on.
movie."
Hold on.
And she's like,
Hold
"No,
on.
no, 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 no,
Hold
no."
on.
What, James?
Is she referring to the TV show?
I don't know what she's referring to. I'm not a TV show or movie enjoyer.
Because there's the comic book, the movie, and the TV show most famously. Also, insane story
I
behind.
think she meant the movie.
Insane story behind the people that wrote Constantine and that write it still.
Yeah.
Every person who's written a story for the Constantine main title, Hellblazer,
Yeah.
they all say that they've actually met John Constantine in real life. They've met him in bars.
Because that's where John Constantine would hang out on, you know?
They're all like, no, it's literally him.
Is it the same way where you're like, oh my god, I saw Andrew Tate, and you just saw a picture of some dude who's bald?
No, they genuinely, it's apparently a thing where if you write Hellblazer, you actually meet John Constantine.
Hmm.
Anyway, sorry, go on with what you were
No,
saying.
but like instead of
like,
it's an unironic like look at Constantine, it's true. That's the type of thing. And my father was like, yes, I watched Constantine, and it's a great fictional, very enjoyable fictional movie. I loved watching it. And she was like, no, you could take some lessons from it. It's real. It's true. And I'm like, huh.
I was
I
so
don't know.
curious where they were going with that.
I don't know what Constantine is, but just judging by it, it's something religion, like Christian related movie.
So, you've never seen it?
No.
We'll add it to the
I don't
list,
even know what
firstly.
it is.
We'll add it to the list. It stars Keanu Reeves.
We're gonna add it to Keanu Reeves is in it.
Keanu Reeves is Constantine. And basically he gained the ability to like see dead people, and like he knows magic and stuff, and he has connections to basically every major deity in heaven and in hell, and he's trying to make up for all of his sins by saving and helping people along his way.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
he's
just like my
dying
aunt.
of lung cancer.
That just reminded me of another thing my aunt does, where she's like, when I win this money back, I'll donate it all to like charity and the poor and stuff.
Oh,
And
it
then-
also has Shia LaBeouf in it.
Shia LaBeouf's in it too.
Shia LaBeouf
we've
is the
gotta watch it
sidekick
then.
who drives a taxi cab.
Dude, why is Shia LaBeouf the sidekick in every movie except Transformers?
It's literally his best film. I'm not joking.
It's
Also,
Constantine?
there's a deleted scene. Oh god, I can't tell you about it because it's kind of a spoiler.
Is Constantine also? Is it a good movie or?
I genuinely think it's a good movie.
Oh,
Like I unironically really like this movie, but a lot of people did not like it when it came out.
doesn't
mainly
speak too
because-
much to me because you know you think Batman v Superman is a good movie, but
it's a cult classic sort of movie too. Like a lot of
Oh,
people
okay.
end up liking
Cult?
it. Like yeah,
yeah,
cult.
like the gun.
He has a gun.
Is it a cult?
It's a shotgun with a cross on it.
Hell yeah. Oh, well, you know, that sounds like an interesting movie. I think I'll add it to the list. But yeah, that's how my birthday went.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah. You know,
You're-
you lose
you're-
you lose a couple brain cells sitting through it, but
You already have a drink.
I'm not gonna drink, James. I'm gonna take a sip of your bullshit Dan Aykroyd Crystal Skull.
Come on, just a sip.
Quadruple distilled through
I will-
diamonds
I will
alcohol.
have another shot of this bullshit with you.
You're gonna get absolutely crunk.
I'm literally only gonna have one more shot. This shit tastes so fucking horrible.
I'm not even. I'm sure.
Fuck my brother for getting me this.
You know my constitution. Just one shot's
Constantine?
You know my constitution. One shot's probably gonna fuck me up.
Yeah. JD, look at me. I'm
Yeah.
a big guy.
Yeah. How many shots can you take before you get fucked up?
Like half a beer fucks me up.
Can you imagine how I would get fucked up then? If I'm like half the size of you.
JD, this is me saying this. It's not about like that's a very bullshit thing.
Is what?
Like your body size and stuff. I think that's a genuine bullshit thing because
You think it's bullshit
I have
that
half a beer
that the size of
and I just
you think it's bullshit that how big you are determines how much you can drink before you get fucked up? You think that's bullshit?
I think it's kind of takes
because
place, but,
because
like,
you can't drink that much.
what
But you
about
know, James.
JD, I think you're a pussy.
But you know, James. Out of all the women that I've seen, if you see 1,000 women on the street, you know what? And every one of them is a bad driver. Are women bad drivers, James?
I walk past 1,000 pistols.
I walk past 1,000 pistols, and they don't bite me.
1,000 Dalmatians. They bite me. Dalmatian bad.
Have you seen Andrew Tate's his final message video?
Dude,
did you know that exists?
It can't be real that he called it the final message.
Have you watched it?
Final solution, dude. It's literally the final solution allegory.
I watched a reaction to Andrew Tate's final
I haven't
message.
watched it.
You should watch it. It'll change your mind about him. Seriously,
Can I watch it right
no
now?
doubt, no cap. No, watch it after the freaking episode's done. What are you doing?
I'm already pulling it up.
Watch it after the episode's done.
The hoe's gonna love
But I'm telling
this.
you, it's gonna change your perception of him. He's actually a great guy. And let me tell you, James.
I keep seeing people say that too.
He's an amazing dude, Chase. He's an amazing dude in the same sense that my family are amazing people.
It's a fucking hour long.
Yeah, that's why I said to watch it after the goddamn episode ends. And it won't even be that much longer. I only have actually, that's the end of my birthday thing. So I had a crazy birthday party. It was not a party really. But I do have to complain about my college for a little bit.
Is God calling Andrew Tate?
So
Andrew Tate is banned everywhere.
some fucked up things happened with my college.
Yeah, sorry.
Let me tell you about it. So first thing that happened was that this is kind of depressing.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking for me, sort of. But my sister called me over to help her out with her college classes and stuff just the other day, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, how'd your sister react to the crystal skull?
Oh, she's like, do you drink? And I'm like, no. And that's it. That's all she said to me.
Oh, cool.
There's nothing, unlike my parents, my sister's
no reaction to the fact that it's in a skull.
Nope. I guess,
Nothing.
Not really. You're kind of a party pooper, but
Kind of a fucking
here's the
lame
thing.
ass.
So I help her out with some college stuff,
Yeah.
mostly financially, FAFSA type of application.
Yeah.
What had happened was
What happened was
she saw that she had to pay a good chunk of money for her classes this semester, and she was like, "Where did all my financial aid go?" So I looked into it, and we figured out that when she filled out the FAFSA about a year ago,
no.
she checked it. She checked no on a yes or no question, and that made her ineligible for financial aid for
What was the
this year.
question?
The question was, will you get a bachelor's degree by this year, or by this certain year? And she accidentally checked yes rather than no, which was the correct one. Like for real, she wasn't going to get the bachelor's degree that year. So she should have checked no, but she accidentally checked yes. And
No,
that
for real.
made her ineligible. And she didn't catch it until like a week and a half ago. So she was she's pretty depressed about that. And, you know,
That
it's
sucks.
and it sucks. It actually does suck. It's doomer moment. It's pretty bad.
It actually does suck.
So
Humor.
obviously, you know, she kind of just, you know, she cried a little bit, but I was like, I was pretty sad for it. I was trying to figure out how to like get things sorted for that. So I went up to her, we refixed everything over the FAFSA, looked over it, or her FAFSA. And now it says she's eligible, but I'm not sure. They gave the FAFSA website gave an estimate on how much they would give her in aid, but I'm not sure if that's going to come in period or if that'll come in later in the semester. So maybe
Next
that'll
year,
do
maybe.
something. And also, it turns out that she doesn't have any like other scholarships. Most namely the Millennium Scholarship. Do you know what the Millennium Scholarship is?
No.
Well, basically, it's a scholarship that's given to, I think it's given to higher achievement students, like
Well, that's why I wouldn't know.
smart students, studious students, I guess.
Studious.
Like I have it, and it gives
sort
you
of studious one.
it gives you a decent chunk of change. I'm not gonna lie, James. It gives you a decent chunk of change, and unfortunately, my sister also doesn't have that for this semester, and she also didn't have it for last semester, but she thought she did, because her counselor in high school told her that she had it, but you know, but I don't think I didn't see any records of it her actually having the Millennium Scholarship in any of the financial aid history. And I won't lie to you, she's not the brightest bulb or the most like student, not the best performer in academics.
Studious.
Not like me. We're like
Of course.
Dean's honor roll. So, you know, that's also another doomer moment. But obviously we can still afford it. It's not like, since we're like regional, like we live next to the college, so it's a lot cheaper than it would have been out of state. But you know, that's unfortunate. But also what had happened on my side of the financial aid was that, so I applied to all of my classes. Like I'm full-time enrolled. I applied to all my classes last November, right? Almost a year ago. And those sons of bitches, you know what they did to me, James?
What'd they do to you, JD? Tell me now. Tell me.
I was enrolled.
Tell me what they did to you.
So how financial aid works, right, is that
Right.
it gives you aid depending on whether or not, or on how many credits you're enrolled in per semester, right? So like if you're enrolled in a lot of classes, they'll give you more financial aid. It makes sense, right?
Right.
But what had happened was I was enrolled full-time, which is 12 credits or more per semester. I was enrolled full-time. What they did, without telling me, and I checked this last week, thank God I did check this last week, is what they did without telling me is they dropped me from one of my classes in June without telling me.
Oh.
No notification, no email, no text message. And you know what's even more fucked up? That class still shows up on my enrollment when I log into my account. So it doesn't even tell me in my account.
Wait, they can drop you from it without like you.
Apparently, that hasn't happened to me before, but it happened to me now. So what happened was I was enrolled in 13 credits total for 4 classes. They dropped one of my classes. So I went down to like 9 credits or not. I went down to like 10 credits. And that puts me in not full-time enrolled, right? Under the 12 credit threshold. So then they reduced my financial aid, right?
Right.
So what happened was I checked a week ago because school is starting up soon. And, you know, I'm a pretty punctual person and I like to double check things because that's just how I am. So I go onto my account and I see this notification in my like my notification center that's like, hey, just a warning, you're not full-time enrolled. You have like less than 12 credits enrolled for next semester. So we're lowering your financial aid. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I am fully enrolled. So I check my enrollment list and I see 4 classes totaling 13 credits, right? That's what I see. So I'm like, something is fucked up here because I have to pay $1,500. I'll just give out the number. I have to pay $1,500 for my next semester. And I'm like, this is fucked up. I'm supposed to be like fucking like free, full. I'm like done. I'm supposed to be done. So then what I did is I contact the financial aid office immediately, and then I email my counselor, and my counselor's a great guy.
Right.
I've heard from other people who also have him as a counselor that he's not too great, but he does good work, at least for me, so I'm okay with it.
I'm just trying to fuck you.
Right. So then I contact them. 20 minutes later, my counselor resends my email, which is really fucking fast for a counselor, because they usually take a few days.
I no longer think I'm joking.
What do you mean?
I think he's trying to fuck you.
He doesn't even know what I look. Well, maybe he knows what I look like, but so he recontacts me, and he says that one of my classes, that I was dropped from one of my classes. That's what he says in the first reply to the email. And I'm like, what? So I relook on my list.
What?
I relook on my list in like the tiniest text. After you scroll all the way to the bottom, and like all the way on like the bottom left side of the page, it says status dropped. And I'm like, what? Why do they
fine print? Why
do they even keep the class in the list of enrollment if you're dropped from it? Why not just remove it so you can see all of the classes you're enrolled in?
That we don't know.
In the fine print, it says I've been dropped, and I'm like, what the fuck? Then he sends me another reply a day later. Or the first reply was like, you were dropped from this class. I'll try to find out why, and try to see if I can get you back in. And then the day later, he contacts me and he says, I talked to the director. We don't know why you've been dropped. But we do know that you were dropped from this class back in June. So I was dropped almost 2 months ago from this class, and they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me.
I think you can sue over something this blatant.
I'll sue if things are still fucked up. But right now, and I don't want to get into any, I don't want to do all the fucking illegal trouble bullshit right now. If I can just get my shit
I'll be your public defender.
You can be my liable. You said you wouldn't want to be liable for anything, but you might be liable for this. So
go to court.
So those fuckers at the college, they tried dropping my financial aid by kicking me out of one of my classes in June without telling me, so they don't have to pay for my so they don't want to give me any more money. But those fuckers, I caught them red-handed. Those fuckers wanted to steal my magic, James. They wanted to steal my. I can't prove it. I can't prove it, James, but it's real. It's real. The conspiracy is real.
People, JD. WSs.
They stole my magic. Those WSs, they stole my magic.
Wrong stuff.
They stole my magic. It's wrong stuff, James. It's wrong stuff. So I'm like, fine. And also in the email, he was like, yeah, the class is full. I can't get you back in. You're going to have to choose another class. I'm like, okay, fine. It's just an elective class. I'll choose another elective. So I choose another elective yesterday. And now today, I see back on my account that my financial aid that they dropped was now back in order. So now it costs $60 for my next semester. So
Good.
at least we're fixed on that front.
I will defend you.
Those fuckers, James.
They tried this again, JD.
Those fuckers.
I'm watching She-Hulk.
They tried pulling a fast one on me, James. They tried pulling a fast one on me by dropping me from one of my classes without telling me, and making it so I don't get. Do you see what I'm trying to say to you, James? Like, it's so fucked up.
You're not even trying to hide it.
They tried making me pay $1,500 when I was supposed to pay nothing. Or I pay the price of a AAA. I don't know. Pay the price of a AA game, because AAA games are like $70
You paid
now.
to play Saints Row.
Those fuckers trying to cheat me out. They trying to steal my magic, James. But I caught them. That's my money. I'll win back my money.
I got you. It's my money.
They can't pull a fast one on me, James. I'll tell you what, James. I'm too big brain for that.
Your aunt has prepared you to see what was to come.
I'm in my aunt's situation, but I actually know how to figure things out.
You're like Doctor Strange with the third eye opening, but it's your aunt's eye to show you the way.
Instead of relying on God, I rely on my own eyes. But yeah, everything is pretty set now. So at least on my end. But yeah.
They tried that.
I can't believe those fuckers did
JD,
that.
you have
I
so much
cannot
that you
believe
can
they did
fucking
that.
use against them if they try it again. You can genuinely take them to court over
I
this bullshit.
cannot believe they. Maybe that's why my counselor was so like fast on like replying to me, because he realized something was like wrong like instantly. He's like, "What the fuck is
Because
happening?"
he's trying to fuck you.
Hey James, if he wants to fuck me, and no, hear me out. If he wants to fuck me, but it's helping me out,
wait.
it's helping me out a lot by keeping things up on my account, and he doesn't actually fuck me, then it's totally cool.
Your counselor, when he sees that there's a discrepancy, something wrong.
Something wrong? We too low? Holy fuck! They try to cheat me out of my magic
What
chairs.
was the last one? What was the last one? There were 4.
Bang ding ow.
Something wrong.
But yeah, let's get ready to if any of you viewers are also in academics like I am in college, good luck in your next
scholars
semester.
of academia out here.
Any big achievers in scholastics like I am?
Scholastics.
Yeah, any big
Welcome to
achievers?
the book fair.
Good luck in your next semester. So yeah, that's the thing for me. I think that's been long enough, huh, James?
Yeah.
Sorry to sometimes I gotta rant
is
about
that the episode?
Yeah, it's been an hour and 15.
Okay, can I really quickly just talk about something?
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
The TikTok chef who makes me uncomfortable.
Thank you guys for coming to the.
No, I genuinely need to
go
talk
ahead,
about
then.
this.
I mean, we can always do a little bit longer of an episode because
because
our 100th episode, our 100th episode may or may not have been,
I can't believe that was our 100th episode.
May or may not have been half the length of normal one.
We should really start these episodes off with numbering them so we know what we're on.
They have been numbered. All of the episodes are numbered.
But when we record it together,
you want me to call out? You want me to call out which number we're on?
That way, if it's an important episode, we don't just leave it there.
All right, fine. Well, I mean, 100. Who cares?
It's the 100th episode.
We're not in a metric system type of nation, James. Okay.
What?
We're in an imperial system, okay? And 100 episodes isn't a year. A year.
Imperial.
We're part of the imperial boys.
But
your TikTok chef. What about him?
The thing is, he seems like a very wholesome guy. He doesn't talk a lot during his videos.
They always seem like wholesome people.
But it's not like a binging of Babish sort of wholesome. It seems like just a genuinely like sort of child glee sort of wholesome.
Oh, like an innocence type of?
A very innocent like kind of guy because he never talks. He's this big like kind of he's this big guy like me and everything. He's a very cheery person. He's always smiling and stuff.
Bear looking guy like you? Just a gentle giant type of feel?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has short hair and it's dyed white.
It's dyed white?
It's like it has like salt and pepper streaks, but it's like very clearly dyed.
Oh, is he not like old?
No, he's young.
Okay. He's
not as young as me, like probably as old as like one of my brothers, but and they're in their 30s. But
30s. That's like whoa.
Well, I mean that's like mid-age. It's not like old.
That's like a foot and a half in the grave, dude.
80, you're 21.
Yeah, and it's a whole 10 years younger.
You just feel like
what they say, James?
Coming on.
The geniuses die young, dude. I don't got that much time left to live.
Did you say Gideon die young?
No, geniuses die young.
Oh, I thought you said Gideon, like the streamer.
Why would I mention him here?
I don't know. It seemed like a random segue, but this chef, what makes me uncomfortable is that he starts off his videos in a very like square format where he's like sitting at his table and stuff, and then he has a little video playing of what he's about to make. Like he's reacting to some sort of fictitious like food or something.
Like a recipe?
And God, I'm worried about this man, JD.
Why?
This is what makes me uncomfortable is that I'm worried about because he's sitting there and you see him going
like visibly worried?
He looks visibly worried. He looks like he's already in pain before he's done anything. He's like breathing heavily. He's like rocking back and forth. And
he's a religious fanatic, dude.
Yeah. I'm so scared for him because he's like doing this. And then he starts making it. And like I'll say this, the only time where I'm like, I don't think this guy's family friendly is when he's making the food, because sometimes he does very obvious stuff that's like, oh, that's a bit
Oh yeah,
suggestive.
I know that. It's like I don't know if that's the guy that you're talking about, but there was like that one. There was a TikTok duet where someone's reacting to someone like cooking something, and it's like this turkey, and he cuts open the turkey, and, like and he's like rubbing it with oil normally, or he's like rubbing it normally with oil, but then all of a sudden it just smash cuts to like him like fingering this turkey like really
That's
weirdly.
that's pretty close. Like
Is
he'll
that
have
what
like
he'll
a
do?
bottle of something that that's kind of close to what he does. I don't know if it's the
Okay.
same dude, but he'll have like a bottle of something that he's pouring in, and then he'll just like kind of be standing in frame where it's very clearly in front of him in a certain way while he's pouring it in. And it's just like
Oh, I see.
Jesus, man. But
That's funny. That's funny.
and when he finishes the food, he like makes it and he starts eating it. He
Mhm.
does these jump cuts of him eating it where he like first bite, he's like, and then it cuts to him going. He's like in pain halfway through.
It cuts to him after I take one sip of Dutch Bros. The Dutch Bros shake. We're just.
I'm not joking. That's literally what it is. It's he takes one night and then it's him like his head in his hands, like weeping in pain, and then you see him eat a bit more, and it's just. And then he finishes it, and I'm just like, what did I watch? What did I
That's
witness?
awesome, dude.
And that's
Wow,
every video.
What a great guy.
I like scroll through his videos. I'm like,
Huge entertainment.
what am I witnessing?
You know, when you find a formula that works, you found a formula that works.
I have to save a video because he did one specifically of the Simpsons
Dude,
burger,
you know
and
what?
it's a very unhealthy burger. Like
You know
it's
what you should do?
obviously unhealthy.
You've got a TikTok account, right? You should make a TikTok account for our crapshoot thing and upload clips of the crapshoot on there.
I've been tempted to. Yeah, I've been really tempted.
I give you
really wanted
permission to
pull
do
a
that.
gameplay okay.
You have my full permission to do that.
I just got to figure out how to like format it properly.
Well, we can always just smash record it.
Yeah, but then it's like I don't want it to be like the wide angle and like the sharp screen like that. So I gotta I gotta figure out how they do like to blow it up properly.
Sure. Well, if you figure that out, then you can do that. But yeah, maybe that'll give us a bit more.
Yeah, I'll start
more
putting us on
exposure.
TikTok. You know, I think that's how Jelly Bean blew up.
Yeah, we're the up and coming jelly beans, jelly beaners, dude. Jelly. Hey guys, welcome to the Jelly Beaners podcast.
What's up, folks? It's still me.
Isn't beaners like a
That's a slur. When
Yeah,
you
it's a
just say it
slur,
on its
right?
own. It's a slur against Hispanic people when you say it on its own. Yeah.
Oh really? I didn't know what slur it was for, but I just knew it was a
said
slur.
it not knowing what it was for.
No, why would I know what it's for? I've never used it.
Yeah, you're just like slur.
I know that
That-
it was a slur, but I didn't know what it was referring to.
Dude, I heard my coworkers at work today like saying some shit, and then I don't know what they were saying, but I just heard his fucking black ass, and I'm like, oh no.
But what if his ass was black, dude?
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that either the words that followed or came before were not very words about that man's ass.
What if they were complimenting it?
They were not. There was hatred in that screaming. I didn't hear the words, but
Hatred in that screaming.
I could hear I could hear the viscousness of the words they spoke. I didn't hear the words themselves, but I heard how toxic and venomous they were.
If you guys enjoyed the podcast episode, you should subscribe and like. We do this every Sunday, right, James?
Yeah, man. And if you folks ever want to hear our final message again, please subscribe for our next episode.
Our final episode. Our final episode 103 or 104, whatever this number is.
Fucking 103.
Yeah.
We could have ended on 101, but no, 103.
103. You know, come and check us out.
Yeah, we're gonna go film in front of JD's house.
Sorry for taking up the majority of this episode, James, but
no, it's okay.
I just had so much to talk about.
I have stuff I can just talk about next time anyways. It's all good.
Yeah, it's not a time thing?
No,
Okay.
it's really not.
Just don't forget about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm probably gonna have the script still open on my computer anyways.
Sure. And also, download. Cool. That'll be it then, guys. Bring us out, James.